Madden 25 is officially here, so this marks my first rebuild of Madden 25. And I've actually picked the Raiders for a good reason. This video is presented by EA Creator Network. This game is a work-in-progress version, so it's not completely out yet. And the reason I've picked the Raiders is because they will be my main franchise team for Madden 25. My Madden 25 franchise team from 10 years ago was the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the Raiders also not very good back then either. So the more things change, the more some things stay the same. But this will be my main rebuild of Madden 25 where we play out every game. However, I did want to kind of go over some of the new franchise features, play out a quick rebuild. It's almost going to be like a test run for my actual series, so make sure you subscribe to this channel for that. So this is the team. Because this is a work in progress build, the ratings aren't exactly perfect, but I've done my best to edit them to exactly what they are on the website, although those are subject to change. However, as you can tell, there are some good younger pieces. Like the left side of the line, will count Andre James in that. That should be very good. And Dylan Parham, I do think I'm going to play at right guard over Cody Whitehair. I think almost for sure he's like, what, 26 maybe? 25 years old. So we'll have a little bit more opportunity for development there. Now, as for what I do in my actual Raiders franchise, remains to be seen. But this will be a good test run to kind of see how things go. But Parham, I think we are going to play at right guard. Brock Bowers, of course, starts at tight end. He's going to be the big piece of this offense. Rookie out of Georgia, exceptional speed. Now, is he going to be your traditional inline tight end with the Raiders? I think they could actually use him there. He's a good blocker despite being a little bit undersized for the position. I'm not sure he's quite playing near 245, but if he is, could totally unlock another element to his game. If he can really, really improve as a blocker against defensive linemen, that's his next evolution as a player, but he's very good against linebackers and especially DBs. There is a bit of a quarterback controversy going on. It's not a good one, but I guess there is one. There's a bit of a battle, Minshew versus Aiden O'Connell. Zamir White, I think we are going to start as RB1. Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers is not a bad group. Michael Gallup is actually retired now, I believe, so we will release him. And then defensively, there are some talented players. Max Crosby, of course, one of the best edge rushers in the league. They bring in Christian Wilkins. It is kind of weird that it's set up to be a 3-4, even though it's not with the personnel. Like Max Crosby's not a 3-4 defensive end. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker, but he rushes off the end. Here he is at left end. It's a little bit weird if we're going to look at a base 3-4, which is what we're showing. Tommy Eichenberg is not a rush linebacker. Neither is Robert Spillane. It's a bit of a weird group, but this is what the defense is in Madden, at least under Antonio Pierce. So I don't know what to do about that. We are still going to have Crosby as a rush end. Same thing with Tyree Wilson, who, of course, we're really trying to develop. Former top 10 pick. See what ends up happening there. But I think I might put Brock Bowers in the slot. Could be a fun way to get him and Michael Mayer on the field at the same time in Madden. So I think I'm going to opt to do that. And the whole storyline with Madden 25 franchise mode, of course, you do have the revamped hub, but the big storyline are the storylines. They've done revamped storylines. It's their big selling point, I guess, for Madden 25. We'll see what it actually ends up looking like, but supposedly 70 to 80 revamped storylines where it can actually last an entire season and actually have big impact on your franchise. It's, in theory, no longer just, okay, you got an in-game moment, you might get rewarded or slight detraction depending on how you answer the question and what happens with the in-game goal. Now it's supposedly a lot more in-depth than that. But before we get into any scenarios, any moments, any storylines, we have training camp here. I think I would like to develop Aiden O'Connell if I had to pick, but I'll tell you another thing. If either Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew is my quarterback by this time next year, we're going to be in trouble. I'm going to really try and draft one if we can. Very close to the 30,000 here. You really just have to tap it so lightly. I need a target, though. We might just be just short. We'll have one more throw, maybe. Need a bullseye. Got it. 36K. Pocket Protector is a very nice addition here to training camp. I'd complained a lot that there was no offensive line drill. It's already basically impossible to develop your offensive linemen. You can't really get dev trade upgrades. So now you actually have a chance to get a dev trade upgrade plus a skill point in training camp, which is really, really nice. So big bonus there. You can actually develop your offensive linemen. Although I'll tell you what, they added this drill to College Football 25, and the tennis balls are being shot out a little bit quicker here in Madden. And by a little bit, I mean significantly. All right. I don't know how we didn't save them. Gonna have to get gold again, which is what we were on track for. How did I miss? Give me the multiplier, please. All right, let's wrap around. Completely whiffed again. It's close, though, but we are definitely whiffing a lot. Not ideal. I'm afraid to, like, hit these things. Yep, that's why. Yep. Gonna be all about using left trigger to strafe and just staying in front. Although, sometimes you do have to sprint a little bit, but getting back into a good position using left trigger to kind of strafe is nice. I'll tell you what, going for the multipliers is how you find yourself in a little bit of trouble here. And some are being shot out a little bit faster than others. I mean, we're on a big-time run here. There's gold. I mean, it was a bit of a struggle, I'm not going to lie. I've never had a problem with that one before, but lights are too bright, video time, can't do it. But no dev trade upgrade. One of my biggest critiques of Madden franchise lately has been, well, maybe not even lately, just for a while, how the mode has just kind of felt dead. I will say the hub makes it better. You know, things are more in your face now. The Saints bring in Jamal Adams. The Bucks bring in Shaq Leonard, right? It'd be nice if it said that that's who that is at the bottom there. That is who that is, Darius or Shaquille Leonard. But doesn't say. But things are a little bit more streamlined now with the records, with the stats, even though it's only the preseason, with your goals for that week. But for the first time, we do have new storylines, 3 of them. We'll start with a new message from the offensive coordinator. And again, these should be more impactful now. So we'll kind of see what direction these go in. So we're going to guess they're going to ask us about position battles. So be careful what you commit to if they do. Well, a position battle is a battle for a reason, right? We don't necessarily have to commit to anything. And what are we going to do? Say, oh, Gardner Minshew is for sure the starter? All right, let's get the question here. Head coach Gene Dangus at the podium. You should be having a quarterback position battle according to most experts. Well, okay, I guess that's fair. Which stat will determine the winner of the battle? Well, there's going to be a battle. Highest quarterback rating, most touchdown passes. Probably highest quarterback rating. All right. I mean, I don't love cumulative stats, especially not in the preseason. But quarterback rating is maybe the best one of the bunch because that's more of a rate-based stat rather than a counting stat, which that's just kind of playtime based a lot of the time. And in preseason, I don't know if we're going to go 50-50 Minshew versus Aiden O'Connell. And even if we did, that's kind of a big advantage for whoever stays later in the game. Well, I guess actually there are 2 ways to think about it. Maybe the starter plays with the first team O-line, gets the benefit of playing with a better offensive line, but against better defensive players. And then the second string quarterback would be playing more so with backups, but also against backups. But either way, I think QB rating might have been the way to go. We'll see. But I think we'll have to follow our preseason stats now and actually be true to that or face some type of penalty. So here we go. Time to kick off the season. It's preseason. But now that we're in the middle of camp, I've got some roster questions for you. Okay, reporter, what do you got? Let's go. Let's see him. Let's hear him. Quick question about left guard Jackson Powers Johnson. Yeah, he's going to be starting for sure. What do you have him working on in training camp? Well, we know he's agile and powerful, but I'd like to have him improve as an overall pass blocker. Impact block's already pretty good. How about pass block finesse? Maybe that will get an improvement for us. You'd like to think so. And he's been working all camp and received +2 to pass block finesse. So that's not a temporary bonus, but actually a permanent ratings increase. It's a small thing, but we'll take that, especially on the offensive line. It is historically difficult to develop offensive linemen in this game. So we'll see. Maybe Madden 25 is going to give us more opportunities to be different. But here we go. Coach, my agent's been telling me that my personality can something. Man, that popped up quick. Be honest with me. I know I'm obsessed with my brand and socials all of the time. Okay. Would you change that about me? Ooh. I don't want you to change. I want you to be more of a leader. I want you to be more intense. I want you to be more of a team player. Be Zamir White. You don't have to be anybody else. I don't necessarily think of Zamir White as a big social media personality, but we earn trust with the player by accepting who he is. His morale has increased by 20. That kind of feels like a significant morale boost. What does that do for his ratings? So he goes up to a 77 overall. He was previously a 74, but then up to a 75 after training camp. So break tackle, carrying up, juke, spin, marginally. It's a boost, though. And that's just for accepting who he is. Why? You don't have to change, Zamir. Be who you want to be. Up until the point that it actually negatively affects the team. Like, why bother asking him to be anything different? Okay, so we do get a position battle reminder. Dylan Parham's not going to start. Knee cartilage there. That's not great. Okay. But the position battle reminder. I see you decided the quarterback battle will be determined by their QB rating. We'll watch both guys over the next few weeks to see where they land. Okay. So that's just something to keep an eye on. QB rating going to be what we choose here. And right now, it seems to be Gardner Minshew by a lot. However, only 7 attempts. A lot of time left. We did choose QB rating, but I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with Minshew being the starter. It's obviously a pretty low ceiling with, you know, whomever we choose. It just might end up being more of a building year. We'll see. Jason Peters cut by the Chargers. See, Drake May, apparently the Patriots are calling it now that he'll be Rookie of the Year. What a bold take from the Patriots social account there. We do have to cut 16 players, and we do have some new messages here, and one of them is based on our position battle at right end. That's not a position battle. That's going to be Tyree Wilson, surely. Did you just say right end? Or no, it's a reply. That's Re's reply. Okay. So, based on what you said in the press conference, O'Connell won the battle. Do you agree that he won it? Well, if Aiden O'Connell flipped the script and ended up with a higher quarterback rating, he won the battle. We're going to be true to our word, and the team will appreciate us keeping our word. Aiden O'Connell has earned a +3 boost to throw accuracy mid, deep, and short for the next 3 games, and the entire team earned 5 morale, which will be slight boosts to some attributes. And now our defensive coordinator is heading into the team meeting. We are on the way. Are you ready for the team culture speech is what that says. I know we do this every year. I'm ready. I don't need to ask what to focus on. This is Coach Gene Dangus. Been there, done that. Multiple time Super Bowl winner, as you see in my franchise series. Multiple time national champion. Riverside, soon to be Trenton State. Coach Dangus is highly esteemed, taking his talents to the Bay Area. This morning I want to talk to you about our team culture. Our culture defines how we play every single week. We got Devontae Adams, Gardner Minshew, and Gardner Minshew wants to know, what culture do you want this team to embrace? We're a physical team. Yes. None of this run the ball or pass the ball crap. Excuse me. We run the ball, smash mouth, build through the trenches, and also we don't really have a quarterback. So it's going to be the O-line. It's going to be Zamir White, Gardner Minshew. Stay out of the way of the offense. Hand the ball off. We're going to get something going here. Every player on the team will receive a +3 boost for the entire season in tackling on defense and run blocking / breaking tackles on offense. That actually does seem fairly significant because the entire team gets it. +3 boost to that is not actually that small. Especially, like, you take a corner that maybe had, 58 and now he's 60 plus. It maybe doesn't seem crazy, but +3 is not insignificant, I would say. And that's not for a game or two. That's for the entire season. Hopefully that will make the offense break a ton more tackles as well. +3 break tackle. Again, it's not a ton, but it's also not insignificant. We are going to choose our draft class, of course. Auto-generated always makes the most sense for these. And Jack Weiner. Oh, wow. That is a name, huh? You know, with the draft prospects, you always want a glimpse into the future, but that one might be a little bit too on the nose there. So the way you want to set up these scouts typically is align them with the top prospects in each different region. Now, you don't necessarily have to. So even if the strength of this class or the region happens to be, let's just say, defensive tackle, well, you might not want a defensive tackle in the draft. You might have Christian Wilkins and not actually want to go after a DT. So what you can do maybe is instead say, hey, there appear to be some really good receivers at the top of the board, or we definitely want to draft a QB. Let's do that. So you can change those positions, yes, to, you know, get a boost with what the game actually says is the strength of that class. But if you're not going to draft a defensive tackle or a running back, it doesn't make any sense to have that as the expertise. Even if it doesn't appear to be a fit with the goggles, with the binoculars, excuse me, what you're doing is still getting an efficiency boost when scouting those positions. It doesn't have to line up with the strength of the class. It can line up with whatever you want. So we could go out and draft a receiver, and maybe that's what I want my national scout to focus on. We can fire the tier 3. You can only have one tier 3, one tier 2, and then 3 tier 1s. Oftentimes, I just fire everybody every year and just start from scratch with the free agent scouts. And I look at, you know, position expertise that makes sense for what I need, because those are probably the players I'm going to be drafting. Yes, you want best player available, but you also want players that can actually help you. I don't really need to scout defensive tackle so much, and running back's a possibility. Absolutely could be. But receiver in this class seems pretty stacked. We definitely don't need tight end, but we could line it up with either of these position expertise, so it actually really makes sense for my team. Wide receiver and corner makes sense if I want to do my 3-star there. Wide receiver safety makes sense. We could definitely use a safety over Malcolm Epps, but I think I might focus on corner. More corners that I think will probably end up being starter caliber than safeties in the draft. And your tier 3 scout should always be your national scout. Just more players that they can get taken care of. I also typically wouldn't recommend having a quarterback for tier 3 just because there are way fewer QBs. Like, why would you scout 3 quarterbacks with your main scout, or even 2 here in the top 10? The next one isn't until the 103rd rank in the big board here. But you know, you want to think smartly about some of those things. Now, I will say they did change the way the board functions. You can actually now sort by true talent, scouting percentage, archetype, every different individual rating if you'd like to do that. This is a huge game changer where you can actually sort by ability. And when the combine happens, you're going to be able to sort by their 40 time and sort by 40 time for the whole class for every different position. What I think is going to be really nice is by physical attributes. So this is going to end up saying, you know, whatever it ends up being. Maybe it's great to elite acceleration, and you can sort by that for every single player in the draft and then key in on which position you want. All right, so we've aligned up our scouts here, and I do have it matching up as best I can for a lot of these, but for the national, that's kind of the one where I would say more so focus on positions that you actually want. Focus on the players that you can already tell something about. Like, I see 2 receivers at the very top here. I'm expecting big things. There are a lot of tackles in this draft as well, and I know I want quarterback, but as I mentioned, there are really only about 2 quarterbacks that we might really consider. We'll take a look at some of the other guys, but when you have week 11 that comes along and you can set 3 focus players, do the quarterbacks then. Do have a media interview, though, on the practice sideline. New location. It's nice to get out of the office, I guess. And let's see what's going on with this. So, Coach, going into the season, what area of the team are you worried about the most? All of it? Yeah, I mean, I really would prefer not to answer this question legitimately, but yeah, the offense. Our quarterback's going to be Aiden O'Connell. It's not tremendous, probably. So if the offense is weaker, what part of the defense is the strongest? Got to be the defensive line. Well, that's not really an answer. Pass defense or run defense? I would say, I guess our run D, we have Christian Wilkins is quite good there. I'll be more specific, yeah. Interior D-line, very strong. Christian Wilkins, monster. And also, I'd love to say, hey, Max Crosby's really good. I guess that's maybe more of a pass defense thing. But, okay, what do we want here? Our starting defensive tackles combined for 10 TFLs and 50 tackles. I think that's doable. That doesn't seem too difficult. I mean, 10 TFLs is a lot, but in Madden Sim, we've seen that happen before. So I think Christian Wilkins is capable of doing that. It's a big promise, though. I promised that our starting defensive tackles would combine for 10 tackles for loss and 50 tackles this season. So I guess we'll check in at the end, say, hey, did the defensive line perform as you anticipated or hoped? And hopefully the answer ends up being yes. Our season goal, I think we can win. We'll win 7. Yeah, we'll win 7. Well, we are going to start out 1-0. Love to see that. Patrick Mahomes' game of the week with the Bengals. The Ravens are going to be tough. We do beat the Chargers 28-13. We have a couple of messages off the back of that. Starting with our offensive coordinator here. Heard a rumor that the media is going to ask you about expectations for our first-round pick today. Why? Why would they want to know? It's Brock Bowers, dude. We want to know. That makes sense. How is Brock Bowers going to perform? Well, we have him in the slot. We can always jump in and try to force feed him the ball as well. What do we want Brock Bowers to do? Touchdowns, yards, catches, probably some combination of the 3 there. Maybe just 2. What are your expectations for Brock Bowers? Well, 50 catches, 600 yards is apparently risky, but 70 catches, 800 yards is riskier. Gotta risk it for the biscuit. 70 catches, 800 yards. That seems a little crazy, but doable. I'll tell you, the goal you set for your tight end is 70 catches. If he meets that, he'll earn 12,000 XP. That feels significant. I'll tell you what we need to do. Chiefs playbook, force the ball to the tight end. We got it. That should at least guarantee Brock Bowers a few more touches. The Chiefs playbook just obviously forces the ball to Travis Kelce a little bit. So if we can have the same thing going with Brock Bowers, we might find a lot of success. So, all right, let's get another question going here. Following week 1, how do you feel about the result in your season opener? We won. We won by double digits. Got to be very happy with how the players battled. We came out with the win. But who deserves the most credit? Well, we scored 28 points, but we also held them to, what, 13? Let's get a boost for the offense. Let's build into that. Our offense played really well. I'm guessing this is going to result in some type of offensive boost. Which player got the game ball? Now, we can give it to multiple. But I think we focus on Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, we could really just push towards being the best tight end in the league. I'm sure your players will have a reaction to you saying that. Let's see. Your tight end appreciates your words in the press and will receive a +3 to catching and catching traffic next week. Good for the next week's game. Doesn't really particularly matter long term. And now that it's week 3, we do have regional focus scouting. You do want this to line up, again, with the players that you're interested in. Doesn't necessarily have to be, again, the strengths of the class. Probably not a bad idea to look that direction, though. I would look at offensive tackle. Defensive end is something I'll consider drafting, but we have Tyree Wilson. We have Max Crosby. It's maybe not the most important thing right now. And receiver here are not the ones at the top of the class. Those guys play in the Northeast. Still going to focus on receiver. Again, if we want to learn more about one of the top quarterbacks, when week 11 comes along, we can use our 3 focus players and just focus on a quarterback. We want to go that direction. It's going to be available to us. We just don't need to do it for the regional scouting because you get a big boost in percentage, right? That's the whole thing, is you're trying to find out the most info about the most amount of players. And quarterback just, I think, really limits your spread there. Now, you do find out for sure about the most important position that you can draft, really, as we lose to the Ravens 35-24. But you just you limit your knowledge on the entire class as a whole, and obviously looking to avoid that. So we lose to the Panthers 10-7. If you can win 8 or 9 games, your team will earn 1,000 XP, and you'll get 5 staff points. Not very much, but I mean, 8 or 9 wins is not a real high bar that we're trying to set there. But we could beat the Broncos. Here we go. Let's talk about the Chiefs. Hey, they have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, Hollywood Brown now. Patrick Mahomes could cause problems for the defense. I think that's fair. What's the plan to deal with that? Well, I would say that our corners need to be focused in man coverage. Try to stay as sticky as possible. Don't let the receivers get any separation. Maybe we can take away Travis Kelce individually. Top 2 corners get a +5 boost to man coverage and a -5 for zone coverage in the next game. Don't know if I love that. Scouting national focus. We are going to focus on wide receiver. Let's do that. Big first quarter drive, though. We could take the lead against the Chiefs. I like the sound of that. And we could force feed Brock Bowers, which could also be quite nice. So let's try and do that. I think that post could be open if we time it. Brock Bowers cannot reel it in. I mean, you can show Trent McDuffie, but he's not the reason that pass was incomplete. We had it. Brock Bowers just didn't catch the football. And that's not what you want. Although he is open here, but he gets bumped, loses his leverage, and we've targeted him twice now with not so great results. Which I don't even know what to do about that, because I feel like the ideas have been good, right? And the result, the execution, maybe not so great. Devontae Adams wide open. Just get the first, Devontae. 4th and 1. We're going for it. Who wants to get open? I don't really want to run against Chris Jones is the thing. But we're going to keep it alive. I mean, we're deep in our own end zone here. Kind of. And we just threw it right at the linebacker. That makes sense. There's Nick Bolton. Yeah, that's a classic me move. Is just not even see him at all. Be like, oh, man. Our receiver has won the inside versus the corner. Surely there's no help to the middle of the field. Why bother even checking? Just throw the ball, right? And, well, I wanted Brock Bowers. Nothing there. Don't love Devontae Adams with the safety. But, oh, my goodness, look at this. Wide open is Trey Tucker. Surely we can hit that. Nope, Nick Bolton is right there. Yep, didn't see him. 3rd and 1. Got a lot of yards back with Trey Tucker. Get it out to Zamir White. He is wide open. The ball was underthrown. And it's going to fall incomplete. That would have been huge. Now the game's actually on the line. 4th and 1. We're just going to take off with Minshew. I saw that there were receivers, and there's a flag. Don't be a hold. But what else could it be? Illegal block in the back. All right, well, yeah, I guess that's what else it could be. Christian Wilkerson hurts us there. It is 1st and 10, but, I mean, you know what? It stops the clock after the offensive penalty. Could be worse. Could be worse. There are definitely worse outcomes there. But, I mean, we're struggling a bit. 2nd and 9, get it outside. Good ball to Jalen Guyton. New Raider, big-time speed. Saw some of it on display there. 31 seconds. That's just wide open. I mean, I can't ignore that. Trey Tucker brings us down to the 23. And we can definitely go over the middle here if we want to. And we're going to. Michael Mayer, big move. 19 seconds. It takes us 20 seconds from a hurry up to get to the line. Are you kidding me? No way, dude. That's insane. That's insane you can't go over the middle with 20 seconds. Wow. That seems crazy to me. But that's how we lose in week 8. I don't get how we can't get back to the line in that amount of time. It wasn't 10 seconds, right? It was 20. or just about. Even if it said 15, we can't get lined up in 15 seconds to snap the ball? I didn't even think that'd be close. We do have a linebacker breakout, though. I'm very annoyed about how the Chiefs game went, for sure. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Who was the linebacker that would break out? I mean, I guess Divine Diablo, maybe. But it's going to be Amari Burney. I guess he did have a sack in the last game. This is not really someone I'm super excited to develop, but okay. How hard are you pushing him to play like that? So, we go normal approach, get a medium goal. I don't think we're going to be able to get a hard goal accomplished with Amari Burney. I think we go normal approach, get a medium, achievable goal out there, and we can get some progress. Again, I don't know what he can really do, but if he gets 6+ tackles and a TFL, he'll upgrade his dev trade. Ugh. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're 3-5. We definitely could have beat the Chiefs. For sure. I don't really think my final drive was that bad. But didn't end up happening for us, unfortunately. And having a team meeting. Talk about our game plan for the Bengals. Joe Burrow's a problem. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. But we're looking for a weakness that we can exploit. We can run on their defense. Okay. That's an idea. Good. Any player specifically that we run at? All right, both defensive tackles. All right, run right at them. Get to the second level. That's Zamir White. That's the starting running back. So it seems so stupid that the coach is like, well, how do we know if we're even good? How about Zamir White, 2 rushing touchdowns? He's not going to run for 125. But scoring 2 rushing touchdowns seems possible. Did we win? Nope. We lost 20-17. Unlikely that we got 2 rushing touchdowns for Zamir White. But, yeah, Amari Burney may be on the right track, but we probably need to spend some more time with him. That is our job, to be fair. But it seems like he did not reach the goal. He did get 2,500 XP. But, yeah, getting TFLs with what really is kind of more of a backup player is going to be pretty impossible. And, of course, yeah, Zamir White, you should have done better against their run D. Apparently that was their weakness. If you can't exploit that weakness, I mean, how are you going to be able to do it against better teams? The Bengals lose DJ Reader to the Lions, and we still can't even run on them. It's upsetting. Week 11, we're going to have our 3 focus players. We're going to look at quarterbacks, probably the 3 QBs, to be honest. And then I would say that we need to look into re-signing some players. I thought it was week 11. Is it week 13 that you do the focus players? Maybe it's week 13. I've sworn it used to be week 11. Maybe I'm wrong. Nate Hobbs, I'd like to bring back, 25 years old. One of our better players, obviously. We can do a 5-year deal. He does seem like he would want to be here. No state income tax. And Nate Hobbs is back. Trayvon Merrick, another one. We absolutely want to have him back. Not super expensive. He's a good fit with the team as well. Warm weather state, no state income tax. And he needs more time to think it over after already wanting to be here. Alexander Madison's going to be a no from me, dog. Marcus Epps, also not really intrigued there. Divine Diablo, maybe. We need somebody to play linebacker. There is interest here. Maybe we can downsell him a bit. And Divine Diablo's back. We lose to the Dolphins. I mean, this season is basically a lost season at this point. We are 3-7. Are we on track with Brock Bowers, at least, for his season goal? We set lofty expectations. Minshew only has about 2,100 yards passing, and we named Aiden O'Connell the starter and did not start him. Very cool. Brock Bowers has 40 for 553 in 10 games. That's not terrible, but he's going to need to pick it up a little bit, I think. All right, we got a reply to building momentum here. We just dropped 40. Everybody's feeling good that we really got the offense going to build some momentum. Hope this carries over into the start of next year. You're not going to be here, buddy. Well, maybe he will be. Where are we on Brock Bowers now? That was an incredible performance. Obviously, we force-fed him the ball. but he's now at 79 catches for over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. I mean, what happens if you super exceed the goal? We were already very risky, and now we're going to annihilate it. That should bode fairly well. We're 5-9. I mean, we're not going to come close to the 8 or 9 wins that it made me say we were going to do. I guess we're at 6 now. Our draft pick is getting worse and worse and worse. But yeah, obviously winning is good. Winning's a cool thing. Raiders, Chargers, all right. Ryan Clark predicted they would win this week. Ooh, bad prediction, maybe. We're on a roll right now. So, I don't like then their QB ones. I mean, Gardner Minshew, probably slightly better than Justin Herbert. In fantasy land, maybe. Obviously, that's not a good matchup. Justin Herbert's an easy top 10 quarterback. Gardner Minshew's like a fringe top 32 quarterback. Just, you know what? Outperform him. Week 18, playing for our 8th win of the season. Is it possible? We'll find out here in just a moment. We finish with a loss. Unlucky. A lot of storylines, though. Brock Bowers should easily exceed his goals. Monster season, but yeah. Obviously, we hate losing to the Chargers. Minshew didn't outplay Justin Herbert. Shock. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm so surprised that that happened. You're telling me Gardner Minshew didn't outduel Justin Herbert in a head-to-head? Individually? Nuts. Saw Ryan Clark talking about our run defense this morning, and he mentioned that at the start of the year, you predicted DT 1 and 2 would combine for 10 TFLs and 50 tackles. Well, we shut all the experts up. Our DTs hit the goals, and we were as strong as you said we were. Hell yeah. All of our defensive linemen earned 2,500 XP for proving the D-line is solid. I mean, the goal was fairly low. The reward is fairly low. But first-round expectations should be massive. It's got to be. Offensive coordinator was listening to the Pivot podcast this morning, and Ryan Clark was talking about rookie expectations for Brock Bowers. He said he was impressed that he met the expectations you set for him after last offseason. He really stepped up as rookie. I would agree. 12,000 XP. It'd be nice if we got an extra bonus for going way over that, though. But that is not what happened. And now we didn't quite get up to the win total we wanted, but we were close. Remember back in week 5 when you told the press we get to 8 or 9 wins? We were close. We were 1 win shy. And I already would have said worse. No team reward. I would have said less than 8. So they screwed me. Gardner Minshew does end up throwing close to 4,000 yards, though 28 touchdowns to 18 picks. Had no rushing attack with Zamir White. Brock Bowers, monster season, over 1,100 yards, 89 catches. Devontae Adams was basically not even on the team. And then Divine Diablo was racking up the tackles. 20 for loss for Max Crosby, 12 for Tyree Wilson. Christian Wilkins got 7. Pass rush was potent. 18 sacks for Max Crosby is a ton. 10 for Tyree Wilson is crazy. Robert Spillane with 3 interceptions. We are building towards something next year. We just started off way too slow to do anything in 2024. You can see Max Crosby led the league in sacks with 18, but nobody in any other category for the top 3 in the league, which I guess is to be expected. Wow. Steelers-Seahawks Super Bowl. Steelers-Seahawks. Big flashback there. Reminds me of the early to mid-2000s, of course. Could be a good game. We'll see what happens in this rematch. And I would bet, I mean, that's quite an interesting matchup here in the 2024 season. I'm going to take the Steelers, I think. But I don't really have a strong inclination about either of those. But we will see the 2024 season recap. Seahawks murdered the Steelers 38-7. Geno Smith wins Super Bowl MVP. Khalil Mack, flash from the past here. Defensive Player of the Year with the Chargers. Did it with the Raiders, of course. Brock Bowers, Offensive Rookie of the Year, though. We love that. And the offensive coordinator wants to touch base about offseason workouts. Who do you want to talk to? Zamir White, I'm not super interested in. I want to talk to Colton Miller. Franchise left tackle. If we can have some type of boost for Colton Miller, that'd be pretty sweet. Now, I don't know if it's going to be that type of meeting, obviously. We'll find out here in a moment. But let's see what's going on. Coach, they told me you wanted to talk to me. Yeah, Colton, we're going to have to release you. No, that's not happening. What are you focusing on during off-season workouts? Pass blocking and run blocking technique and general awareness. It's good to be aware. I like that. Sounds good to me. You know how to get better, maybe. And we'll tell you if anything changes. That works for me, though. You have another press conference as we get ready to go into the offseason. It's probably going to be like, hey, what do you want to do this offseason? Well, get better is 1. 2, get better again. That's how bad we are. We got to get better twice, at least. I don't know what I'm saying. What is your plan for the upcoming offseason? I would say let's make a splash and upgrade the roster. That's what we need to do. Get better, and we'll make a splash. Any specific position or just the overall talent? Just overall talent, I would say. I mean, obviously quarterback, but are we going to be able to go out and get an 85 overall QB? That'd be kind of insane. On offense or defense? Well, I'd like both, honestly. But let's go defense. Maybe a big corner, big pass rusher, something like that. You feel confident that you can improve the talent by training camp? Yeah, super confident. Definitely can do that. No question. Check back in training camp and see how you did. It's going to be fine. Upgrade ready. To successfully meet this goal, you'll need to go trade for or sign a defensive starter with an overall rating of at least 85. And I assume that would boost team morale. Would kind of be my bet based on how a lot of these other things go. We can get an 85 overall player. I think that's very doable on the defensive side of the ball. Trayvon Merrick needs to come back. Can that count? He's about to be an 85. We'll up the contract a little bit. It's still quite affordable in my opinion. He's going to test free agency. No, you're not. Marcus Epps can leave. Robert Spillane, I'm not actually super interested in keeping around. But for the right price, maybe. It's not going to be 10 mil per year. I'm going to franchise tag Trayvon Merrick. It's $14.5 million. We'll extend him next season, but we need to keep him around. He's one of our best defensive players. Really just cannot let him test free agency. Don't want to risk losing him. We got 7 and 10. I don't want to know what it looks like without him. Nick Chubb is here. Jamal Adams is here. Stephon Gilmore. Nick Chubb would be a great get. Nobody's interested right now. 9 want Jamal Adams, which would be a big upgrade for us, to be honest. Bobby Wagner wants to be here. It's just not all that great. I mean, these are not long-term solutions. Nick Chubb, I would like to get. He is 29 years old, I get that. Regression's going to hit him like a truck, probably. But for 2 years of Nick Chubb, I would easily exceed $11 million. Easily. Go $6.9 million on the salary. Nice. He should be fairly interested in that offer. I like where that is. But we need to make a splash on defense. We could use an upgraded linebacker, and the fact that Bobby Wagner wants to be here makes this kind of easy. I can give you a 1-year deal. But Jamal Adams, for 2 years, could be a very good fit. We need safety, right? Need safety. Jamal Adams is a box guy. Merrick can play over the top. I think he's actually a pretty good fit for us. Are we going to out-offer the Cowboys? Doesn't seem like it, though. Jedrick Wills is here in free agency. I think we definitely need him. Right tackle is a position we absolutely need to upgrade. Jedrick Wills is only 26 years old. He's going to be easily worth this contract. Let's give him a 6-year deal. Huge offer. But he's going to be worth that because he should develop. He's already good. I think the rest of the O-line is probably in a fine position. We're not likely to get Jamal Adams. Well, maybe we'll come back for Quandre Diggs if he's available. I don't really want Jordan Poyer. Although that would be another kind of splash. 85 overall addition to our team. He's not incredibly expensive. We can even lower this. And he might just sign on anyway. All right, we'll leave it like that. So targeting Nick Chubb, Bobby Wagner, Jordan Poyer, and Jedrick Wills. Wills is the most long-term investment. Nick Chubb would be a really great get. Bobby Wagner would solidify the goal that we said we would do. And then Jordan Poyer would be a starter, albeit not a long-term answer. And we got all three. Nick Chubb, Bobby Wagner, and Jedrick Wills. That's huge. Jordan Poyer could be on the way, but other teams are now in the mix. Levante David could be an interesting get, but don't really need him. I think I'm probably fine with where we are. Our specialists are very good. We could increase the offer. We could bring back Marcus Epps. One team is interested. Let's offer Xavier Woods a 1-year deal or 2-year deal. I doubt we get Jordan Poyer. We do get Xavier Woods, though. And I think that's probably going to be it for our free agency, to be honest. Nick Chubb is injured, by the way. He broke his ankle. You're kidding me. Well, he technically is, like, not on the team yet. But no, he is, though. He'll be ready for week 1. We got Bobby Wagner in there. Max Crosby, Superstar X Factor. Wilson's up to star. Jack Jones lost star. Okay. We also lost star for Tommy Eichenberg. Offensively, Brock Bowers is up to Superstar. But Devontae Adams lost Superstar X Factor. So, a very interesting set of improvements and knockdowns here. So, Jed Wills, of course, is going to play right tackle. Our O-line is now in a pretty good spot overall. Huge upgrade with Jedrick Wills. And our defense is in, I mean, already a pretty good spot. Bobby Wagner will help out a little bit. He's not good in coverage at all anymore, but he is good coming downhill. Make tackles, stop the run, that's fine. We can also see college pro day results in here. And also, not just pro day. We can sort by combine if we want, because that happened as well. Let's sort by the 40 time. So, Trevante Poole obviously didn't run. Did he just not participate at all? Probably didn't. So, he skipped both the combine and his pro day, and is a true round 2 to 3 talent. Probably not somebody we should want to draft. The fastest player in the class is Greg Banyard, a receiver out of Alabama. Okay, ran 4.35. Let's sort by true talent. So we know for sure that the 2 top receivers are top 5 talents in the draft. Round 1 talent for Max Neighbors. I mean, it's a good receiver class. If we want a receiver, this is probably the class to do it. Now, it's interesting. DeAndre Brown was not super impressed with him as an athlete, but he just ran 4.41 at the combine and 4.38 at his pro day. His route running is pretty good. Where's deep route running? It's a B on the far left. DeAndre Brown looks pretty good. He is 23. Now, Joey Crompton is also a top 5 talent. B all over the place. He's going to be great after the catch. But the other receiver is a better receiver overall. Joey Crompton might be better in-game, maybe a more fun player. But the better player overall-wise is going to be DeAndre Brown, I would guess. What about quarterback, though? Round 1 to 2 talent for Greg Sellers. Outside of him, and even with him, it's not a super strong QB class. Sellers would be good, not great. Where do you take a player like that? I said we needed to go out and get a quarterback. Okay, I get that. But is Greg Sellers going to be the guy? All right, NFL draft time. It is officially here. And here we go. That is the draft board. We are picking at number 13. And the first pick is already in. It's going to be Gerald Benedict. The pick gets spoiled behind the commissioner. And there is Gerald Benedict. Already got the... is that just a wrap or is that a bandana? Probably just a head wrap there. Gerald Benedict is your _1 overall pick. Bears getting pretty used to that at this point. Pretty used to that. But this time, it was not from the Panthers. It's going to be Dorsey. I'll tell you, it is a really, really nice change to actually get players walking out on the stage. This should have been in the game a long time ago. And finally, we have it. That is an interesting look, by the way. The pink vest and pink pants. I couldn't pull it off, I'll tell you that much. Joey Crompton is the 3rd overall pick. So we could still be in position here to take who we want. It's a possibility. Joey Crompton could be quite good. Of course, we will have to reevaluate depending on if somebody gets drafted ahead of us, or maybe we don't even want to take, the Boston College receiver. But DeAndre Brown is still there. Will the Patriots go out and get a receiver? They won't. It's Mike Carter. So if we wanted to, we could call up the Panthers right now and try to make a move for the receiver. And I think that might be our best course of action or best bet. I think he's going to be the #1 player in the draft. That's what I'm trying to do. Get the #1 player in the draft. That's what we're going after. Let's call Carolina. Can we move up to 6 as well? I mean, that's crazy. But if we keep 13, it actually might be doable. Let me offer 2 1s, 2026 and 2027 for 2025. It's not quite there. I mean, they want a quarterback, but they don't. Because, we could package in Gardner Minshew. That actually is a possibility. Okay. He's not going to have a tremendous amount of value, but he could potentially help us get this across the line. And they actually can't afford it with the Minshew contract. And that trade's going to be accepted. So we bring in an offensive lineman just for salary cap purposes, but it's 2 first-round picks next year and the year after that, a 5th rounder this year, and Gardner Minshew to give them a little bit of a quarterback competition. Pretty good trade for us, obviously, but we are trading 2 first-round picks, and we might not end up being very good. But with that trade, I want to try to pull a Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson back-to-back. Let me call the Saints and see what the price is going to be. So because they're negative $18 million in cap room, we're not going to be able to trade any players. But we can trade that 13th overall pick. And then maybe add a 3rd next year. And it's going to take more than that, but let's see how close we are. Not really that far. What about a 3rd this year? We'll keep number 45. 13 and 2 3s to move up to 6. That trade is accepted. And we are going to be selecting back-to-back players. The first one, DeAndre Brown, receiver out of Boston College, 6'4", 223, 23 years old, is a left-hander. A release, B catching traffic, C catching, B deep route running. He says he only has good speed. His numbers at his combine and pro day feel like they're better than that. Elite jumping ability. He's got A medium route running, A release, A stiff arm, A spectacular catch. Deep route running and deep route running and short route running are not bad at all. Catching's not amazing right now, but what I see is a super freak athlete at 6'4", 223 with great route running. There's something to work with there. DeAndre Brown, welcome to the Raiders. His true rank ends up being number 5, and we drafted him at number 5. So it's good, right? But we did not get the number 1 player in the draft. Hands made of glue. I would hope they have glue on them. Being made of glue scares me. Unbothered by defenders when catching passes. Highlight reel catches are the norm. He's got 92 speed, 90 acceleration, 85 agility, 94 jumping. I mean, he's definitely good. We'll take a top 5 player in the class, and that is another change. They're showing you that instant feedback now, as we didn't get that for a while. So we can sort by round, true talent here. A couple of round 1 players. We're going to be ignoring those guys. We are going to ignore them because we need a quarterback. Greg Sellers from Penn State, 6'1", 234, only 21 years old. B, deep and medium accuracy. A, short accuracy and throw under pressure. He's got great arm strength, elite acceleration. I like him. A, break sack, A, throw on the run. Got some scrambling, some improvisational abilities as well. Greg Sellers, welcome to the Raiders. His true rank is 40, which is to be expected. We knew what his rank actually was within the class, but it's a quarterback. He's the best QB in the class. We needed QB desperately, and apparently it's an excellent pick, so we'll take that. Round 2. We traded picks to get here, right? Not to this specific pick, but in general we did. Ooh. Lorenzo Crawford, I did not expect to still be on the board. That is a no-brainer selection. 6'2", 194 out of Florida State, 22 years old. B-man coverage, A-press, B-zone. He's got very good speed, elite acceleration. See, it says just good speed, but he ran 4.3 flat at his pro day, 4.37 at the combine, laser time. Tackling's okay. He looks like a beast and has good size at 6'2". Lorenzo Crawford, welcome to the Raiders. He's a top 10 talent in the draft, ranked number 8. We took him at 45. Sticky man cover corner, smart, reliable zone defender, and his press ability frustrates receivers at the line. You love to see it. He's got a sharp blue suit on. What a beast. A little deeper here. Round 4, pick 13. We know about some round 3 to 4 talents. We obviously scouted a lot of receiver. But what we can do at this point is sort by physical ability. So we can sort by grades here. Let's say we want elite speed. Well, Jelani Sheed from Texas is the only elite speed player in the draft right now. The problem is he's very, very bad in coverage. Really awful. This reminds me of Devin Hester. He's got elite agility. He's around 2 to 3 projected player. He's going to be terrible, right? I'm going to take a chance on him because maybe stud return man. Elite agility, elite change of direction. Maybe it's just Devin Hester. Whatever. We're going to take a shot. He's going to be ranked so badly. 217. We took him at 109. This is Raider football. I'm Al Davis. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just taking the fastest player no matter what. Terrible in coverage, but can fly. So taking a big chance there. But, you know, it's the 4th round. Not a bad idea to just take an athlete, see if we can develop him. So that was kind of the thought process there. There are a few elite strength players still left in the draft. These guys are expected to go undrafted, though, is kind of the thing. But we're into the 6th round. Elite strength is valuable. He's a defensive tackle, Rashard Boston, even though he's like, I'm a D-end, in a 3-4, maybe. 6'3", 318, B tackle, super crazy strength. We're going to take a chance. And the commissioner's back out to announce a 6th round pick. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, our war room seems absolutely stoked on this pick. And there is Rashard Boston at home. He's ranked 222. We got him at 173. It's an average pick. We were celebrating like it was the best pick of all time. And we will pop into the draft recap here. We definitely got better, right? DeAndre Brown ends up being a 77 overall. Pretty good. I don't like him wearing number 21. That's terrible. But overall, very solid. Aggressive catch, run after catch. Big time upgrade at receiver. Now we have 3 really good ones. Well, I guess Jacoby Myers is like fine, but DeAndre Brown can be that wide receiver 1. And this actually could free us up to potentially trade Devontae Adams. Greg Sellers is a 74 overall with hidden dev. I don't mind that. 93 throw power, good general accuracy, great throw on the run and break sack. And I mean, he's a scrambler type, right? But personality's unpredictable. He's a wild card. Maybe not what you want at quarterback, but seems to be pretty good otherwise. And Lorenzo Crawford is a 76. Great man in zone, very good speed overall for the most part. He's a team player. This is the type of guy you want. Well, I did training camp, and we did get an upgrade For Trayvon Merrick, probably not the player I would have picked to get a development trait upgrade, but we did get an upgrade for Trayvon Merrick. He is now up to superstar development, starting Xavier Woods at free safety. I think Crawford's going to have to start at corner. The team should take a jump up this year. I'm just not sure if we're going to be one of the better teams in the league, and that's obviously what the goal is. I think we'll do... I mean, field general makes the most sense for general accuracy. I just feel like you typically haven't got deep throw accuracy in the past with this. We do get an ability slot for Greg Sellers, so he is guaranteed to be at least superstar development, which already makes that pick incredible at quarterback. Don't know anything about DeAndre Brown yet, but it should be a solid option. We don't need to be entirely Brock Bowers focused. I did kind of toy around with the idea of trading Devontae Adams. He's still just very good. And if you look at his contract, he is under contract for the next 2 seasons. It's super expensive. Super expensive. But we can afford it now because we have a rookie QB on contract, on salary. So, Devontae Adams could be traded, but maybe not this season. We do need an upgrade at left outside linebacker. We might honestly be able to find something in free agency. Just need somebody okay to play off the ball. That's pretty much it. Zach Cunningham is honestly going to be fine. So we will sign him to a contract. Gives us a little bit more depth. And, I mean, he might technically be a starter, but I don't really anticipate him playing all that much with the addition of Bobby Wagner. We still obviously have Divine Diablo. We have, fine starters in place for what, defense we're actually running. But Zach Cunningham, good depth, will probably work onto the field. So, do we feel like we upgraded the team? Unequivocally, yes, we did upgrade the defense enough. We brought in Bobby Wagner. That's an 85-plus player. And how do you disagree? You said we wanted to get an 85-plus player to accomplish our goal. What did we do? We brought in a 34-year-old Bobby Wagner. We deserve credit. Yeah, that's fair. We brought in a mid-30s linebacker who can't really move very much anymore, but he sure can tackle. Morale increases to the roster by 15. And we also have a new message regarding off-season workouts. So Colton Miller, I guess, going to be improving with his blocking technique. I remember that's what he said. So, I'm assuming your personality type did too, in regards to do with his progress. Okay. Streamed every workout, but got distracted a lot. I made decent progress. +1 to pass block, finesse, and power, and 3,000 XP. So if they're an entertainer, which I'm assuming is going to be the archetype for Colton Miller if he streamed every workout. He got a small boost, but he got distracted a lot. Yeah, he's an entertainer apparently. Well, all right. He got better, but not significantly. It could have been better. I guess it could have been huge, depending on what his personality type was. Well, this is actually a pretty significant morale boost. Look at the overalls jumping up. Everyone's getting at least a +2, with the exception of Greg Sellers at quarterback. I guess Devontae Adams only +1 as well. But defense especially, +2s everywhere, +3s on the D-line, with the exception of Max Crosby, who has nowhere to go. He's a 99 overall now. Offensive coordinator, though, and I changed to a 4-3 just so we can visualize it a little bit better. It's a 4-3 anyway, disguised 3-4. It's a 4-3 based on where Max Crosby's playing. It's kind of all I need to know. But we're going to be asked about position battles. How do we want to play this? Well, obviously it depends on the position. There's no quarterback battle in camp. But, of course, that's what they're going to ask about. A QB position battle. We do have a rookie. And now you can also, one of the things they told me is you can really be incentivized to not start your rookie quarterback. Let's say most passing yards. Whoever finishes the preseason with the most passing yards will be our starting quarterback. I think that's fine. We did QB rating last time, and then we we picked Aiden O'Connell as a starter and then didn't start him. Very funny for Aiden O'Connell. Sorry about that, buddy. But I'm expecting Greg Sellers to be our starting quarterback unless I can be heavily incentivized to bench him. But here we go. Coach, my agent's been telling me a personality. This is Nick Chubb. Did I read that correct? Be honest with me. I know I'm intense. Would you change that about me? I don't think so. He is a leader. You can have that intensity and be a leader and a team player. We want Nick Chubb to be who he is. We did this last season. It worked out well. I maybe should have gone a different direction. But we know we're going to get a boost off that. His morale increases by 20. However, if we wanted him to be more of a leader, maybe he would have boosted up the rest of the team. We didn't try it. We'll never know. But that is interesting. 2-0 in the preseason so far. Greg Sellers throws 2 touchdowns, completing 88% of his passes, by the way, in the preseason. We are 3-0. Aiden O'Connell, by the way, is leading all of preseason passing yards. All right. Very interesting. Preseason's over, and it looks like our position battle is complete. But based on what you said in the press conference, Sellers won the battle. Do you agree that he won? It looks like Aiden O'Connell lit up the whole second, third, and fourth stringers in the NFL, but Greg Sellers was better overall. +3 boosted throw accuracy, mid, deep, and short for the next 3 games, and the entire team gets +5 morale. Morale will continue to boost our overalls, which should result in a better team, obviously. Playbooks are still going to matter a lot. But the better overall the team, in theory, the better that they're actually going to perform. So we talk all the time about a team's identity. What can the fans expect from your offense this season? We're going to throw to the tight end a lot. We are going to lean on playmakers, I think. We've got a lot of them. Devontae Adams, Brock Bowers, top 5 pick at receiver. Or top 6 pick, maybe. We took the quarterback first. So wide receiver 1 and tight end 1 will both have 75+ catches. Catches to me is like not a great indication of how explosive an offense is. That's maybe possession based, how many possessions you get. But that has nothing to do with overall explosiveness, unfortunately. I was hoping that we would maybe have yards. Promised that Devontae Adams and your starting tight end would each have 75 catches for the season. So if we promise that, we have to live it up to it, I guess. And I don't know what this means for Devontae Adams. I don't know how we're going to get him that amount of targets. Probably put him in the slot. And Brock Bowers will just continue to get a ton of touches anyway. And we will need our rookie quarterback to rise to the occasion and feed our playmakers. I like it. It's a good strategy, good plan. And Greg Sellers is injured, by the way. You got to be kidding me, dude. Partial ACL tear. Okay. Well, that is our rookie quarterback. Named him the starter, and then he tears his ACL. Partially, at least. Still not good. Coach, going into the season, what area of the team is the strongest? Well, offensively, we've got some pretty good playmakers. Defensively, our D-line is good. But I'm going to say offense. Obviously, extremely strong at receiver. Big-time tight end. Offense is stronger. What part of the defense worries you the most? I would say our pass defense is kind of young and unproven. We were really good against the run last year. What if Max Crosby's like, nah, I'm not into that. I'm not spending time making him better. Coach, here you want me to mentor Amari Gaynor. I need your help with his development. This could be big. I'm listening. How much of my time will this take up? Ooh, depends on how much effort you put in. That's fair. Now, Amari Gaynor is not someone I don't feel like we can really develop a lot. But Max Crosby is a team player, so he's game. Check back in a few weeks with an update. Okay. I wish it was not Amari Gaynor, probably. But if he can boost him up, sure, why not? How do you feel about the result in your season opener? Well, we won. That's always good. Winning is good. And who deserves the most credit? Who can we build up here? Our defense needs to continue to get better. So we got to boost the defense up. Our defense played well. And which players got the game ball? We got to boost our corners. Yeah, boost our corners. Earn a boost for CB1, CB2, free safety 1, and strong safety 1. Boost up the defensive backfield. Get the DBs rocking. I love it. So hopefully they get a big boost as a result. +3 to play rec and man coverage. Don't mind that. And hopefully we can continue rolling. 1-0 is a great start. We got to be 1-0 every week. That's the goal. 42-14. Monster win over the Chargers. We are rocking and rolling right now. Do drop a game to the Giants, though, in week 3. Don't love that. But we do have another storyline here. I mean, a 2-1 start is not the worst. Losing to the Giants, even as a Giants fan, that's not great. That's not ideal. Let's talk about Aiden O'Connell, and he's played up to this point. I wish we could talk about Greg Sellers, the quarterback I drafted. But in your opinion, what has he done well so far this season? Yeah, that's a good question. He has been great at avoiding turnovers. I didn't see the numbers. I don't know. I'm not ready for the press conference. But he's been impressive as far as that stat goes. Is that true? Who deserves credit for how he's played so far? Receivers and tight ends. Or we boost up the O-line. Yes. Boost up the O-line. If we can get those guys playing well, it'll make everything else easier for the entire offense. O-line gets 1,000 XP as a reward. Not bad. We barely lose to the Chiefs, 21-19. But that's kind of been the trend of Season 1, is barely losing to the Chiefs. Trend of this video now. That's 3 extremely close losses to arguably the best team in football. And I think we could just say that. I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year. They win it basically every year lately, it seems, with Patrick Mahomes. He's, what, 3? And he was a rookie in 2017. And they've lost, one as well. But I do feel confident. I know the team. I think the team's going to have a more successful season this year. And I think this team is one that can win upwards of 8 or 9 games. I think we're going to be in the 10 to 11 range. So shoot for the stars there. It's a little optimistic. How is that not very optimistic? 10 or 11 wins, it makes you a playoff team, pretty much. That feels somewhat optimistic. After missing the playoffs last year, you're saying that 10 or 11 wins is not optimistic? It's a decent season. Especially coming off of a 2-game losing streak. Do manage to beat the Titans at least. And we have a new message regarding storylines. Did Max Crosby get Amari Gainer up? Surely he did. Not making a ton of progress. I think a lot of it is on the personality clashes. Wow. Player mentored, which is Amari Gainer, gains 1,000 XP. So even though Max Crosby's a team leader, and Amari Gainer was like, I have a lot to learn from Max Crosby, Amari Gainer just is not improving because he's an entertainer? Interesting. You kind of think that the team leader would be something that can kind of supersede an entertainer personality kind of being clashing. We are 4-2. Tyree Wilson has 7 sacks right now, by the way. And we have plenty of new messages. The first one coming from our offensive coordinator. Christian Wilkins and Byron Young have big charity events this week for My Cause, My Cleats. Are you interested in attending either? We can just pick one or the other? Ooh. Wilkins' event is access to clean water for communities. Young's is a voter participation event. Whoever you pick will be happy, and the other guy may be bothered based on his personality. I don't know their personalities. Getting Byron Young playing at a great level would be awesome. But Christian Wilkins, getting him playing at a super elite level might be even better. I'm going to attend our star players event. And we're going to head to see what Christian Wilkins has going on. And Byron Young, sorry. Can't really attend. I'm busy that night. That's a tough one. But, I mean, Byron Young plays less of an impact. I think we have to lean into our star player there. I'd like to get your take on how successful your play calling has been this season. We're 4-2. Let's focus on defense, though. Okay. Which stat are we talking about? I have no idea. I've been simulating. Defensive red zone success. Well, we've been limiting points, which to me means that we probably allowed lower than 2 red zone touchdowns per game. And that is right. The experts will appreciate how aware you are of your analytics. It totally is not a guess. It's not a guess. It is a ballpark estimate, is a nice way to phrase it. New message regarding the storyline here. Is this Christian Wilkins and Byron Young? Or is this unrelated? It's just another press conference? Could be. Next question. Coach, the fans are curious about the upcoming trade deadline. Ooh. We haven't had this one before. Do you have any plans to upgrade the roster? What would we go out and get? Yeah, you know what? I think so. We'll try to upgrade the roster. We can trade for an 80-plus overall player. Now, we don't have much in the way of picks after trading in that last draft, but the players should be happy to hear that we're going to be aggressive. We're trying to upgrade the team. We're trying to make a playoff run. Maybe a safety, a linebacker. Where do we actually want to upgrade this team? Because when we get to the midseason mark, it's going to be about too late. Greg Sellers, by the way, looks like he's about ready to go. It is Greg Sellers time in Las Vegas. Also, wow. DeAndre Brown has superstar X Factor. I'm in. I honestly kind of want to play him over Jacoby Myers, but we're not going to do that. But again, this makes me think that we could definitely get away with trading Devontae Adams. Defensively, I like Devon Diablo. Zach Cunningham's playing over Tommy Eichenberg right now. Byron Young is, of course, in the mix. Crawford has just star dev. Let's go out. I think we should upgrade safety. I think that's the direction we're going to lean. Although getting a big-time defensive tackle might not be the worst idea, considering the fact that Byron Young might be really upset we didn't attend his event or whatever. So let's see what the trade block has in order. Dalvin Tomlinson's in there. Austin Booker's on the trade block. That's kind of insane. Arnold Ebiketie, Peyton Wilson. Wow, a lot of young players on the trade block. Kind of surprising. And I'll tell you, even Quan Martin. I mean, not a lot of good players on the block, of course, but a lot of youth. Jordan Davis is on the Rams? How did this happen? Would they trade him? They would. We might be able to find a deal here. Well, that's going to be the trade. It's an interesting one. It's a second-round pick this year, a third next year and the year after that for Jordan Davis. So we're going to upgrade defensive tackle. And it's a young player that's under team control for the next 3 seasons. We don't have to worry about any type of extension. We can cut a bottom-of-the-roster left guard in Hayden Howerton. And I'm a little bit worried about the charity result. So I felt like maybe we should go out and try to acquire an upgrade on the defensive line. And Jordan Davis certainly is that. Now we have 2 monster interior defensive linemen. Tyree Wilson's coming on really, really strong. The team is coming together and at the right time. Devontae Adams still in the slot. Our front 7 looks very, very good overall. And Greg Sellers has a chance to really... We know he has at least superstar depth. So he has a chance to really evolve and develop into being one of the better players at his position in the league if things go well. But here we go. Storylines, charity. Christian Wilkins, you better be psyched. Just got back from my charity event. The organizer said if you made an appearance, we would have raised significantly more money. I went. I literally picked Christian Wilkins. Okay, well, how do we want to answer this? I know you're unpredictable, but they don't. They didn't need me. They want. I don't know his personality type. This is where you need to know these things. You're a leader. You didn't need a babysitter. I'll give him that. All right. You should know that's not who I am, coach. I expected more out of you. Well, damn. I picked you. I literally picked you. He's an entertainer. He's an entertainer. Well, this might be a good opportunity to go check defensive tackle and see what Byron Young is doing. He's unpredictable. Oh, man. To be fair, maybe I dodged a bullet here. Just picking not to go to the unpredictable maniac wild card. Saw the clips from your press conference. What position group are we looking to trade for before the deadline? How about defense? Starting D-line? Well, is it even going to register that I acquired Jordan Davis? At least an 82 overall starting D-lineman. I've already done it. I've already made the move. He might only be an 81 overall, though, is the problem. And it might not even register that we've already traded for him. How badly is that going to go? I don't know. We are 4-2, so we're within striking distance for the playoffs here. Just got to keep it up. Do have a player meeting coming up before the Chargers game, though. Who's this going to be? Actually, I have no idea. Not really even a guess. Byron Young? Nope. It is Devontae Adams. How can we help Devontae Adams? We're almost halfway through the season, and I'm not involved in the offense enough. This is someone we said, okay, need more touches or I don't belong here. Okay, well, interesting. I don't want catches. I want some carries, too? You can't run the offense. That's right. Get me the ball, coach. You got a lot of nerve. Coming into my office. How many touches can you get me this week? Well, I'm not guaranteeing rush attempts. That's insane. That's insane. 8 catches and 2+ rush. This is insanity. Yeah, okay. You better catch it when we throw it your way. Love it. Hope you come through, coach. This is an insane thing that's happening. All right, we're doing offense only. How do we run the ball with Devontae Adams? That's going to be the challenge. Do we even have anything in the playbook? But we at least have him in position now. He needs 4 rushing attempts. And you know what? Maybe he knows a thing or two. Look at Devontae Adams. 1 rush, 15 yards. Maybe that's the glitch. And what? We promised him 2 and also 8 catches. 8 catches could prove to be more difficult. I don't know if I like where we're going with the football. That's a good way to just run into a sack. That almost looked intentional. Get the ball out there. Good throw-ish. Devontae Adams broken tackle. Oh, my goodness. He's done that a couple times this game. I like that. Maybe they're just trying for the strip. Touchdown puts this game away, I think, obviously. Nick Chubb. Stay in bounds. It's fine. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Field goal even puts this game away. Not going to snap the ball. Chargers going to have to start burning timeouts. First down basically ends it as well. A lot of ways to put this game away. Big time win. And, I mean, we force-fed Devontae Adams like crazy. You could not even consider complaining. You had 17 catches. And we won. You had 17 catches. Shut your mouth. You think you get off that easy with a 1-game goal? Not this year? What? You need to prove it for the rest of the season. I need to end the regular season with at least 100 catches and 20 rush attempts. It doesn't matter how many catches I have already. Let's make it happen. No. Who do you think you are? It's clear you aren't listening. I'm going to talk to the owner and ask him to put me on the block. There's still a few weeks left before the deadline. Your wide receiver's unhappy. You didn't agree to his demands. His catching and catch and traffic ratings will drop by 10 for the next 4 weeks. Broken ribs for our starting Right tackle Jedrick Wills. Davante Adams has now demanded a trade. I'm not trading Davante Adams. I'm not doing it. He can go cry about it. He's not getting traded. Now, his ratings may drop significantly. Next man up later. When you let the players run the team, you get chaos. You get anarchy. The United States of Bengal, Coach Gene Dangus does not negotiate with terrorists. Second update on Max mentoring Amari. They've made solid progress over the last few weeks. Okay. What type of boost? 2,000 XP? I don't mind that. We're going to get a trade deadline update here as we lose to the Chiefs 28-14. How'd we do? We got Jordan Davis. I feel good. I feel good. We got a huge upgrade at defensive tackle, right? I feel pretty good about all the positions, but I mean, DT1 is pretty good. Roy Walker doesn't know. Don't feel like we're there in terms of talent. I kept the promise. I really did it. You're stupid. All right, we're going to simulate to the playoffs here. We should be a playoff team. How are we not going to get credit for going out and getting Jordan Davis? Because he wasn't in the DT1 spot, and that's what I picked? It asked me how I felt about the position group. I feel good about Christian Wilkins, obviously. But we should be a playoff team anyway. We started out pretty well. Ended up dropping to 5-3. But that should be good enough to make the playoffs. And we finished 13-4. The only downside of that is I didn't think we'd win that many games. And I picked 10 or 11. So now the team's going to be like, you didn't believe in us and we proved you wrong. I don't know. Max Crosby, 16 sacks, is in a really good spot. Happened to see the video going around this morning. Remember back in camp when you told the reporter of practice that our identity was to lean on our playmakers and have 2 players with 75 catches? Ryan Clark was roasting us. We didn't meet the goal. Feels like that wasn't our identity at all, and you're getting a lot of blame on social media and TV. We won 13 games, you moron. Who cares what happened individually? We had our diva receiver, as look at the numbers, by the way, from Greg Sellers. 23 touchdowns, 4 picks. Again, didn't play the whole season because of a torn ACL, but he bounced back in a big way when he was on the field. Nick Chubb dominated. And then receiving, we did have we had 3 players with 75 catches. It's broken. It's broken. And that should be the ball game. We are moving on to the playoffs. Big wild card win, 52-36. Not a lot of defense being played in this one, that's for sure. But what a game for the rookie Greg Sellers. 30 of 40 for 350 and 5 touchdowns, no picks. Trevor Lawrence in simulation launched 4 interceptions, 2 of which went to Jack Jones, 1 to the rookie Lorenzo Crawford, and 1 to Divine Diablo, who we upgraded his own coverage for this game. Seems to have paid dividends. Divisional playoff on the road again, and that's going to be the trend. Same thing in the AFC Championship if we go on to play the Chiefs. But we need to play the Baltimore Ravens. They went 14-3. Just keep doing what we're doing, though, and we're going to win. And that is the ball game, 24-14. Would have been nice to have a moment when we were trying to answer on that drive before just giving it right back to Baltimore. Definitely extremely frustrating. And that ends up being the game. We talked to the quarterback, Greg Sellers. We can get him an offseason boost going into what this could be the final season. We're going to be cooking again. We went 13-4 in year 2. That's pretty awesome. All right, Greg, what is your personality type? I don't remember. I really don't remember. I think we looked. I definitely said it. He's going to focus on accuracy. His throw power, I think, is pretty good. No, yeah. Get your accuracy up. Although injury prevention could be good after the torn ACL. Coach, my agent was telling me that my #1 motivation should be more meaningful. How about motivate yourself to not demand a midseason trade and try to destroy this team? Really care about being close to home? Would I change that about you? Well, I know you went to school in Fresno. I want you to care more about winning. Yeah. Care about winning. I'm upset about Davante Adams. Okay, Coach, I feel like I trust you enough to take your advice. Yeah, good. Player has decided to follow your advice and will change his #1 motivation. Okay, maybe don't demand a trade midseason now. $99 million in available salary cap room. We have a number of big free agents, but I think we can get certainly under this 99 mil number. The Merrick extension, now that he's actually really good with Superstar Dev, is really expensive. But Trayvon Merrick returns. That's insane money. We'll pick up the 5th-year option on Tyree Wilson. Jacoby Myers, we actually don't need. But I would like maybe a 1-year deal for Jacoby Myers. And he's going to be back for 1 year. Colton Miller is going to be a long-term extension. It's very expensive, but he's very good. He's going to test free agency, which means he's not. We're going to franchise tag him. Cannot lose you. Zamir White, we don't need. Jack Jones, we don't need. Dylan Parham, I'd like to think we can do better than, but I'm not sure that we can. So we're going to bring him back. Jones can leave. Bobby Wagner, we really, I don't think need. He's not all that good, and he's way too expensive. That's maybe somebody we resign in free agency if we choose to go that route. And then I need to keep my specialists. AJ Cole is back for 5 years. We will be punting, I'm sure. And then Daniel Carlson, kind of expensive for a kicker, to be honest. He might decline this, though. He's going to test free agency. I'm actually okay with that. Again, we can find a kicker in free agency. We need safety. Safety and linebacker. All right, we're going to offer on Kevin Byard. That is it's a good solution for a year. Bobby Okereke down to normal dev, 79 overall at 30. Crazy. I do think we try and retain Bobby Wagner. We're running out of money. No question. But Bobby Wagner for a year does make us better. We are trying to win a Super Bowl. Bobby Wagner helps us do that. We need to have good players. I mean, that's it. We got all three. Byard, welcome to the Raiders. Bobby Wagner, Daniel Carlson, welcome back. Ooh, top 5 talent projected to go round 2 to 3. Round 1 talent, a corner down the board with a zone coverage. That could be a safety. I know we have Kevin Byard. Okay. It's a good class to need linebacker, or, well, excuse me, safety or corner. Almost got to it. Okay, so we don't pick for a while, but there are a lot of great DBs in this class if we want to go that direction. We can find something down the board, and we're going to be here at the end of the 3rd round. Nope. Did we trade all of our top 3 picks? It's worked out. We've got really good players, but oh my goodness. That is, we trade a lot. And I lost track of it, apparently. We can still get round 1 to 2 talents here down the board, though. I think I might lean Darnell Baldwin. He's a true round 1 to 2 talent. A press is interesting, but B zone coverage. Could potentially move back to safety. Good speed. Welcome to the Raiders, Darnell Baldwin. Good to see Roger Goodell back out announcing 4th round picks. Got to respect that. Usually the commissioner leaves and stops announcing after the first day, first round. And I think maybe comes back for Mr. Irrelevant. But typically it's like Troy Vincent or somebody announcing picks. There's a lady also. But we got the number 40 ranked player in the class. Took it 123. Fast enough. Well, he ran in the 4.3s. He has 94 speed at corner. I would say that's more than fast enough. It's plenty fast enough. 274 overall players. I don't mind that. I think Darnell Baldwin, who does have hidden dev, by the way. I keep forgetting to check that now that it doesn't pop up immediately. You just have to go over one slot. I'm going to move him to free safety. Number 19 is very weird at that spot. He'll play free safety now. And then Ty Hurd can really do it all. Also hidden dev, but maybe a bit better in man coverage. 91 speed is not bad. That's definitely fine enough. I am curious about the rest of the draft. There is an 82 overall. Very, very solid looking running back. Wouldn't say generational, but quite good. He was the 6th overall pick. But then outside of that, we did quite well. A couple of really good 3rd round corners. Didn't have a chance to get them, obviously. We didn't pick in the 3rd round. I thought we still had our 2nd and 3rd, but no. Traded those away, which I would do it again. Okay, off-season workouts. Show me something big here for our now 2nd-year quarterback. Show me what you got, Greg. Worked on position-specific drills, and the trainer said my morale has a lot to do with my progress. Hell yeah. People say I'm unpredictable, and I guess I didn't make as much progress as my trainer wanted. What? Gained a medium amount of XP. That's not a number. And increase their ratings. Okay. That's very not specific at all. Very vague. He got a vague amount of XP and increased some ratings. He is an 81 overall, which is very good. Accuracy looks great except for the deep ball. The unpredictable nature of his game and personality, I should say, I guess makes that a little bit more volatile. Mid-season mark, we are 4-2. A lot of teams in the AFC are doing pretty well, though. So we are certainly not guaranteed a playoff spot just because we have 4 wins. 87 overall team. Like, we're doing fine. We lost by a point to the Chiefs. Gotta beat the Chiefs, man. Wild card round of the playoffs. We are an 88 overall. This team is rebuilt. It's just a matter of whether or not we can make and win the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate goal. That's what's up next. Greg Sellers versus Patrick Mahomes. The passing of the torch up next. Let's get it. Dislocated elbow for Nick Chubb. Well, Dylan Lauby's our backup. Dislocated elbow in the wild card round of the playoffs. Not a great injury to get. And the Chiefs are going to make a stop. Well, we're going to go for it, of course. That's a given. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Going up 6 late in the game. I always talk about this. You incentivize the other team to go for the touchdown. And when it's Patrick Mahomes, you incentivize losing the game. Very lucky that worked out. Oh my goodness. DeAndre Brown with the catch. Chiefs going to have to call their timeouts. Dislocated elbow is very bad. It honestly doesn't sound that bad. Because like, oh, dislocated finger. Like you just, pop it back in or whatever. But dislocations are actually, and that's a stupid thing of me to say, but dislocations are actually like insanely serious. Shoulders, elbows, knees, really huge injuries. So Nick Chubb, he's done. We're going for it. I'll scramble if I have to. Come on, Greg. What do you got for us? Sellers under pressure. We're going to run for it. Greg Sellers walks in. That's the game. You'd have to expect no way Mahomes can come back from this. Famous last words. It's a minute. There's a minute on the clock, okay? They are down by 10. They have no timeouts. I don't know what they can do. They took Nick Chubb out of the game. Congratulations. But that is the ball game. We have knocked off the Chiefs 31-21. We are moving on to the divisional. Bengals in the divisional. It's another team that we can beat. Now, I don't love seeing their rankings there. Kind of first in everything. Dax Hill, superstar dev, being showcased before Burrow and Jamar Chase. It's still a beatable team. Let's see what we can do. It is 26-17. We're going to jump in. We're going to jump in here. DeAndre Brown just beat press. He kind of does, right? He's gone. DeAndre Brown, touchdown. Let's go. DJ Turner in coverage. Tried to press him at the line. DeAndre Brown's got like 99 release at this point or something. He's got insanely good release. Athletic enough. We needed points and we got them. And our defense clutching up. How about let me play on offense? 5 minutes on the clock. Season on the line. Not in this particular drive, but in this game, obviously. That's kind of how playoff games work. DeAndre Brown, broken tackle. We could actually make this the final drive of the game. Sellers has played well. No interceptions. Love that. 3 touchdowns. But we've obviously been in some tough spots. As Blackburn is searching, trying to pick up the first down, and will. No Nick Chubb is devastating for the offense. And we have no way to upgrade that. Like, maybe free agency will have, like, 82 overall Dalvin Cook just sitting there. I guess that's a possibility. We might want to look into that. That's a good animation. Not for me. We can nail this field goal. I don't care if we're iced. We're not missing it at this point. That's all we need to play for. But also, I can't forget to turn shoot clock off and lose the game. Okay, we're in. Touchdown. That's maybe not the best thing, but you kind of get a little bit scared. It's a 4-point game. We'll make it a 6-point game because maybe we can force a missed extra point if it comes to it. I really hope it does not come to it. Sellers on the move. 2-point is good. 27 seconds. The Bengals have no timeouts. No touchdown. Burrow's sacked. That's the game. Tyree Wilson will end it. We are moving on to the AFC Championship. Yes, scoring a touchdown made things get dicey. I totally get it. I also am afraid that I could have missed a field goal and I'm super embarrassed myself. But none of that happened. We are playing in the AFC Championship. Bills. It's another team I don't want to see. We're going through the AFC gauntlet right now. Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills. These are strong teams. And I bet we're going to find that. Ooh. We didn't see any obvious one-on-one matchup concern. So we're just going to focus on the D-line being ready. I like that. Focus on the strength. Let's get him ready to play. Team meeting room. We got to stop Josh Allen. So I think pressure makes diamonds. Let's focus on power moves. Get to the quarterback. If we can blitz Josh Allen, our whole D-line gets a +5 to power moves. If we can blitz Josh Allen and bring him down, I think we win the game. It's another road matchup. We have another overall advantage. Will it matter? Had a couple of close games so far. Hopefully, this is a win, close or not. Here we go. Bills take the lead first with a field goal, but we answer with a touchdown. Defense is playing well. Bend but don't break. 13-7. Need the offense to step up. It's the second half now. We don't have time for this. It's 13-13. Let's go. 20-13. We take the lead with a touchdown. The Bills have the ball. They are going to punt. It's 4th and 17. They don't really even have a choice. I do think you probably have to go for it, though, but they have 3 timeouts, so I guess you wouldn't. Guess you don't have to, but you're playing a dangerous game. Because all it's going to take is, we have space on this return, by the way. All it's going to take is Sheed gets to the next level. There he goes. Speed for days. Gillum won't catch him. Touchdown. Punt return touchdown. Unbelievable. Jelani Sheed could end it. Punt return touchdown could be the dagger. You imagine watching that as a Bills fan here in Orchard Park, New York? Would be absolute devastation. It's a 76-yard punt return. The Bills do answer with a touchdown. And we're going to have to punt the ball back to them. Are you kidding me? There's no way we're actually giving the Bills a chance in this game. There's no way. 80 yards. They have no timeouts. 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock. Oh, it's going to be bad for us. Yep, that's not going to be good. I guess we pressed on the outside, and the former top 5 pick, Crompton, will score a touchdown. It's not great. Joey Crompton, house call. Didn't realize we pressed him on the outside. 53 seconds. It's 27-27. Very much in this game. We, you could say, are in the driver's seat. Did the Bills give Greg Sellers too much time? I mean, I didn't love the way that worked at the start. We're going to call a timeout here. Just got to get the field goal range. That's it. Thankfully, we didn't get sacked. A sack would be disastrous. Brock Bowers quickly. I kind of leaned over to it. I see Trey Tucker. I see options. I just don't trust them. I don't trust the arm. I don't trust an incompletion. We're taking the scramble. I know there were open guys. We've missed throws before. I don't want to risk it. Just take what the defense is going to give you. Calling our second to last timeout. Got to probably save that last one. I'm so worried. Like, I don't want to have to call timeouts immediately. But we've seen the way time just runs off the clock. Devontae Adams, great route. Diving catch, and he drops it. Are you kidding me? And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I choose to scramble. That's a joke of a drop. That's absolutely insane. Get up the field. You got to throw it on the run. Completely missed. That's insane. I hate it here. I mean, we probably should punt, right? Punting is absolutely the smart move. No question about it. Punting is the right decision here. But I don't want to punt. 4th and 5. Brock Bowers, run after catch. He got it. Got to call a timeout. It's a 51-yard field goal. Can we get closer? Throwing Davante Adams, sideline, toe drag. He's in. Caught that one. And that should pretty much do it. 10 seconds on the clock. I mean, we should just take our points now. Don't be crazy, right? Let's max protect. I think we're just going to... I'd love to line it up, but that's obviously not a possibility. I think we're probably just going to throw it away. Just want to take a little bit more time off the clock. Just a little. Again, I'd love to line this up, but it's not college hashes. That's right. So we're going to be good to go. We're so close. The meter's moving so slow. The kick is up and good. And we have taken a 3-point lead with 3 seconds to go. Everyone get back. Do not mess around. We should be in prevent defense, but we're not. It's going to have to be a deep shot. Josh Allen's got the best arm I've ever seen, but it's knocked away. It's incomplete, and we are headed to the Super Bowl. We have run the AFC gauntlet. What does the NFC have in store? Greg Sellers, no Nick Chubb, no problem. He has played a perfect postseason. I don't think we've thrown one interception. Wow, it's the Vikings in the Super Bowl. They went 11-6. Joe Burrow wins MVP. Patrick Mahomes, Offensive Player of the Year, though, is interesting. Typically, I guess you wouldn't see two quarterbacks in there, two different quarterbacks. But good morning. It's Super Bowl week. Obviously, a lot of preparation. I said preparing at first. Preparation goes into it. Can you talk about your players and how they've been preparing all week? I'm paraphrasing, by the way. I can read. I can promise. Look at this. Quick question about free safety Kevin Byard III. Check out how good that was. What has he been focused on this week leading up to the Super Bowl? The text is slightly too big from where I am. He's focused on tackling. Wrap up. Simple. Just fundamentals. Tackling. All right. Here we go. That's the key to the Super Bowl. Kevin Byard has an increase of 1 to tackling. That's going to be the difference in the game. Feels like another old school matchup, little Randy Moss action. Vikings Raiders. Dante Culpepper, another Viking Raider. Greg Sellers up to Superstar X Factor. Davante Adams back up to Superstar X Factor. Unfortunately, it's a hamstring tear for DeAndre Brown. He's done for the season. No, you got to be kidding me. 91 release form. I said 99 earlier. It was kind of like, just gassing it up. But 91's still very good. Nick Chubb will be back for this game. We still have 2 very good receivers, plus Brock Bowers. A ton of X Factors now. And then defensively, Hurd had Superstar Dev. Okay. Baldwin, 78 overall star. No real upgrades on defense. We got to unlock Sellers on offense. So we're going to take Ankle Breaker off of DeAndre Brown because he's not playing and give it to Greg Sellers. But Freight Train is an insane ability for him. No, give me Gambit. Can't be intercepted sounds very good to me. I like that. Greg Sellers is playing up to a 92 overall, but is a true 87 overall as a second-year player. We are on the verge of winning a Super Bowl here in year 3. X Factors all over the place. The Vikings are good. I mean, if you look at them on paper, if J.J. McCarthy develops, it's a dangerous team. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, not to mention their tackle duo, which is phenomenal. Brian O'Neill, Christian Darrisaw. They have TJ Hawkinson at tight end. They've tried to improve their defense, and they spent a top pick on a quarterback. McCarthy was what, number 10 overall, I want to say? And number 11. I guess it's a possibility, but it doesn't really matter. Somewhere around number 10. As we are up 10-7, now it's 10-10. Everything is telling me it had to have been the number 10 overall pick with all these 10s right now. We're up 17-10 as we go into the second half. 24-10. Fourth quarter, the Vikings have made it 24-18. We do have the ball, though. How about take the clock down? Touchdown ends the game, likely, if we can continue to take time off the clock. That might not be so possible. That's so open. Brock Bowers, no one even close to him. Greg Sellers continues to play perfect. No interceptions this postseason, I think, unless we had one in game 1, but I don't think that was the case. We're going to bring this inside 2 minutes. I'm not trying to get first downs. I want to have more downs so we can just take more time off the clock, waste Viking timeouts, and win a Super Bowl. We need more plays, which means we don't need a first down on first down. I'd like to get a first down maybe on third down. Vikings call a timeout. Maybe should have got the first down in that spot, though. On second down, I guess you can, but I'm trying to waste all of the Vikings timeouts. This is the way to do it. Nick Chubb down inside the 5. Why did we call a timeout there? We had an injury. Nick Chubb injured again. Well, that's a really annoying injury. Don't go in. Vikings are going to be saved here. Bruised ribs really just made you burn a timeout in the Super Bowl as we're trying to win the game. Bruised ribs. I know that doesn't feel good. I know it doesn't. You got to limp off the field, or you don't even need to limp. You just run off the field holding your ribs. It's now 3rd and goal. The cat's trying to get involved. She's like, how can you not get off the field with bruised ribs in this spot? Lauby's going to go down. Clock going to run down to a minute. 27-18 with a minute left. Vikings having no timeouts. That should be the game. Here we go. It's a chip shot field goal. It's good. It's 27-18. The Vikings, you'd hope, would have no answer for it. And my controller's bugging. Emulating to the end of the game. The Vikings scored instantly, but it wasn't enough in the end. Did not get the onside kick. And the Raiders are Super Bowl champs. Trayvon Merritt going to put a ring right on that ring finger. Love to see it. Coach Dangus getting a Gatorade bath. But the Raiders are Super Bowl champions. This, of course, is the new celebration. Greg Sellers has no idea what to do, and Randy Moss going to walk the Lombardi Trophy down the row of excited Las Vegas Raiders. Could not bring another Super Bowl to the city of Oakland. Las Vegas is going to have to get it. Did the Raiders get one in LA? I don't know. But would they be the first team to win a Super Bowl in 3 cities? If that were the case? Like, 3 cities like being their hometown or home city? I don't know. Because John Madden definitely won one in, like, what? 1977 or maybe something in the 80s. Not 85, but maybe 86. I think John Madden got 2 Super Bowls, right? I got to check now. 1976, 1980, 1983. So they were the Raiders in Oakland from 60 to 81. And then Los Angeles from 82 to 94. And then, of course, they moved back to Oakland until 2019 when they went to Las Vegas. So the Raiders have 2 Super Bowls in 2 cities right now. I guess this would be a third. But that's going to be the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Greg Sellers is the truth. And I will see you in the next one. Make sure you're subscribed. Take it easy.